I bought my parents a luxury car and paid off all their debts, but at my mom's retirement party, she smiled and said, "We raised a fool who thinks he's important just because he pays our bills." So, I stopped helping them financially. Then I got 105 missed calls. I was the guy who always said, "Yes, can you help me out this month? Yes, can you cover this bill? Yes." You wouldn't let your parents struggle, right? Of course not. For years, I helped my family with money. It started with a few bills, but eventually, I was paying for everything: the house, the car, my mom's medical bills, and even my dad's golf club membership. I'm a corporate lawyer, working long hours. I don't have a wife, kids, or time for anything else, but my family always needed me. My sister Martha would call for rent money or a new phone. My cousin Mark, who owned a struggling construction company, would ask me to do legal work for him for free. Even my parents needed me for everything. I drafted their wills, helped with insurance, and even got my dad out of trouble when he crashed his car. When my mom retired, I made sure she wouldn't have to worry about money. I paid off their house, cleared their debts, and bought them a new luxury car since my dad always wanted one but couldn't afford it. I hoped they'd be proud of me, but I was wrong. It hurt when I overheard my mom at her retirement party. She said, "Lucas actually thinks that just because he pays for everything, it makes him important." I froze. My Aunt Linda laughed and added, "Well, we raised a fool who thinks he's important just because he pays our bills." My dad joked, "At least he's useful. He brings in the money and free legal work." I was shocked. I wasn't a son to them. I was just someone they could take advantage of. Something inside me snapped. I went back into the party, took out my phone, and opened my banking app. I canceled every automatic payment tied to your accounts: mortgage, utilities, car payments, insurance. "It's all done," I said. "What do you mean, all done?" my dad asked. "It means you're on your own now," I replied. My mom was shocked. "Stop being dramatic," she said. I laughed. "Dramatic? No, this is long overdue. You think I'm naive for paying your bills? Fine, let's see how you like paying them yourselves." The room went silent. I turned to Mark. "And if you need legal help, hire an attorney. I'm done." He looked angry, but I just said, "I'm doing this because I see you all for who you really are." Martha scoffed. "You're acting like a child." I said calmly, "No, I'm acting like a lawyer who just ended a bad contract." Then I walked out. No one could stop me. For 2 days, there was silence. Then the calls started. First my mom, "You forgot to pay the electricity bill. Can you fix that?" Ignored. Then my dad, "We can't pay the insurance. Can you help?" Ignored. Then Martha, "You're punishing us over one stupid comment?" Ignored. By the end of the week, I had 37 missed calls. By the end of the month, there were 105, and then they changed their approach. They sent messages like, "Mom, Lucas, we're your family. Families don't do this to each other." "Dad, your mom can't sleep because she's so stressed. Do you care?" Martha, "Wow, so you're going to leave us like strangers?" I didn't reply. Then Martha posted on social media, "Some people only help others so they can hold it over their heads later. Real love is unconditional." I couldn't believe it. Unconditional? I'd paid for everything for years, never asking for anything in return. But now that I stopped, I was the bad guy. Things got desperate. "Mom, Lucas, the electricity was shut off today. We don't have power. How could you do this?" That almost made me feel guilty. Almost. But then I remembered I'd been paying that bill for years. Every time I asked if they needed help budgeting, my mom would say, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart, we'll figure it out." Well, now it was time for them to figure it out. A week later, they showed up at my office without an appointment. I was in the middle of a case review when my assistant buzzed in. "Lucas, your family's here. They don't have an appointment, but they say it's urgent." I sighed. "Send them to the conference room." I walked in and found my mom, Dad, and Martha sitting there, angry. "Lucas," Mom started, "this has gone on long enough. You made your point, now let's fix this." "Fix what?" I asked. "The bills," she snapped. "We're behind on everything: the mortgage, the car, the insurance." "Not my problem," I replied. "Not your problem?" Dad shook his head. "Son, you can't just cut us off like this. We're family." "Oh, I can," and I did. Mom crossed her arms. "So, what, you expect us to struggle?" "You mean like I struggled?" I shot back. "Working 70-hour weeks to pay for everything while you all sat back and laughed at me?" She scoffed. "It was just a joke. Lucas, you're overreacting." I leaned forward. "Let me be clear, you laughed at me, used me, and when I finally stand up for myself, I'm the bad guy." "No, that's not how it works," Mom said, softening her voice. "We never meant to hurt you. We just thought you liked helping us." "Liked?" I laughed bitterly. "Did I ever get a say in it?" Silence. Dad tried another approach. Okay, Lucas, let's make a deal. Maybe you don't have to pay for everything anymore, but just help with the big things, the house, the car, the insurance. That seems fair, right? I smiled. Sure, I'll make a deal. For a moment, they looked relieved, then I added, I'll pay for everything again if you sign a contract saying you'll pay me back, with interest. Their relief disappeared. Lucas, don't be ridiculous, Mom snapped. Oh, I'm serious, I said, pulling out a blank legal contract. Since you all love using me for legal stuff, let's make it official. Martha stared at me. You want us to pay you back? Yes. You never asked for money back before, she said. And you never appreciated it before, I replied. Dad slammed his hand on the table. You're acting like a complete stranger. I stared at him. You made it clear that the only reason you put up with me was because I paid for everything, so now, let's see if you still want me around without my wallet. Silence. Mom looked at the contract, then at me. You're serious? Dead serious. She pushed back her chair and stood up. Fine, keep your money, but don't come crawling back when you realize you need your family. I walked out of the room, feeling a mix of anger and relief. First my dad, then my mom. I sat down, took a deep breath, and smiled. For the first time in years, I felt like I had control over my life. A month went by, and the calls and guilt trip messages stopped. Then one day, I got a text from Martha. Martha, we're selling the house. Mom and Dad can't afford it without your help. I read it, thought for a second, and typed back, not my problem, good luck. It felt good not to feel guilty anymore. After they left my office, I thought they would finally give up, but they didn't. First, they tried to make me feel bad. Linda sent me a long message about how family was important. My dad left a voicemail saying, I thought I raised a better man than this. Lucas. Martha sent a simple text, you're pathetic. I ignored them all. Then it got worse. One evening, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Tom, my parents' neighbor. Hey, Lucas, your folks are in bad shape. Your mom's been crying, and your dad's lost weight. They're really struggling. I gritted my teeth. So now they need me? After everything I've done? Tom hesitated. Well, they're your family. Man, are you really going to let them lose the house? Did they tell you why they're in this mess? I asked. Tom didn't answer, so I did. I've been paying for everything for years. Their mortgage, bills, cars, everything. Don't call me again about this. It's not my problem anymore. I hung up. A week later, I got a call from HR at my firm. Lucas, we need to talk. There's been a situation. My heart dropped. What's going on? A woman claiming to be your mom called. She was upset, saying you had a mental breakdown and that we should check on you. I was furious. What? They said you might need time off. I was beyond angry. Tell her to stay out of my business, or I'll handle it myself. I hung up, my anger boiling over, but they weren't done. 2 weeks later, Martha left me a voicemail. Lucas, please, I need your help. It's about Dad. He's in trouble, big trouble. Please call me. I called her back, though I didn't trust her. She picked up right away. Lucas, she said, sounding shaky, Dad borrowed money from loan sharks. They're threatening to take the house. I didn't believe it for a second. Really? Loan sharks don't threaten lawsuits. They use fists. And $50,000? That's the amount I used to send you every year to cover bills. It's too perfect. Put Dad on the phone, I said. He's not home, she said quickly. Let me talk to him, I insisted. I can't, he's too stressed. That was the last straw. Nice try, I said coldly. You're lying. Lucas, I swear this is real. Really? What's the name of the lender? It's First Capital Lending. I laughed. That's a real bank, Martha, not a loan shark. She was silent. You just made that up, didn't you? I asked. Don't bother, I said. This is a scam. You're not even trying anymore. Lucas, please. Good luck with that debt, I said and hung up. That was it. I blocked their numbers, changed my email, and told my work not to take any calls from them. For the first time, I felt free. A week later, my mom sent one last message. We're selling the house. Hope you're happy. I stared at it, then typed back, I am, and that was the end of it. They didn't stop. At first, it was quiet, then I got a call from Uncle Ray, a distant relative I didn't talk to much. Hey, Lucas, your mom called me. She says you abandoned them. I rolled my eyes. Did she leave out the part where I paid for everything for years? She might have left that part out. Figures. Lucas, family's family, he said. Is that what she told you? That I abandoned them for no reason? There was silence. Let me save you the trouble, Ray. I paid off their debts. I bought them a car, and what did I get? They laughed at me behind my back. Another silence. Yeah, she definitely left that part out. Ray said. So no, I'm not paying another cent. Fair enough, I won't bother you again. Click. One by one, they were losing support. 2 months later, their house was foreclosed, the car was taken back, my dad's business folded, they were feeling the consequences of their actions. Then, out of nowhere, I got an email from an unknown address. It was a GoFundMe page titled, "Desperate Mother on the Verge of Homelessness After Heartless Son Betrays Family." I couldn't believe it. It had pictures of me from happier times, and they were trying to get people to give money. $12,450 raised out of $50,000. I was furious. They were scamming people, and it was working. I forwarded the page to a friend in cybersecurity. A few hours later, he traced the IP address to my dad's laptop. I smirked. Gotcha. Then I called my lawyer. Hey Greg, do you still handle defamation cases? Always. Who's the target? My family. I sent him everything, the GoFundMe link, screenshots, and proof of where the money was going. It turned out, Martha had already taken nearly $10,000. Greg was shocked. Wow, Lucas, this is low, even for family. Yeah, well, they started this. I'm just finishing it. Do you want to send a cease and desist, or should we go straight to court? I thought for a second. No mercy. The GoFundMe was shut down within 48 hours, and the money was frozen. Martha called me, furious. You had no right. Oh, I had every right, I said calmly. It's called fraud. Martha, you were stealing from innocent people. No, you were trying to steal from us. Now you'll face the consequences. I hung up. A week later, Uncle Ray told me that Martha had to pay back the donors. My parents were still buried in debt, with no way out. Then I got a voicemail from my mom. Her voice sounded empty, like she had no more excuses left. Lucas, I know you hate us, but we're your family. Please, just talk to me. I listened, then deleted it. For the first time, I owed them nothing. 6 months went by, and I never heard from them again. I don't know if my mom ever went to the doctor. I don't know if my dad ever stopped drinking. I don't know if Martha ever got her life together, and honestly, I didn't care. Because for the first time in my life, I was free. Then, one night, Kelly, my cousin Jacob's wife, called me. Hey, Lucas, your parents moved in with Martha. I wasn't interested, but she kept talking. Things are bad, Lucas, really bad. Martha's business is gone. The house is a mess. Your mom and dad barely leave their rooms. Martha's drinking too much, snapping at everyone. She told me last week she wished you'd never been born. I sighed. That's not new. No, Lucas, I mean it. She's completely lost it. And now that you're not there, they're turning on each other. I stayed quiet. Your mom's sick, Kelly added. She's lost a lot of weight and barely talks. Martha won't take her to the doctor because they don't have money, and your dad just drinks. I felt a knot in my stomach. Why are you calling me, Kelly? She hesitated. Your mom asked me to. She didn't want to, but she's hoping you'll come back. I closed my eyes. It was their last-ditch attempt. I let the silence stretch, then said, they made their choice. She sighed. Yeah, I figured you'd say that. I said one last thing, don't let them drag you down too. And with that, I unblocked my mom's number and sent a final message. I know you're sick, go to a hospital, you can still fix this for yourself, but don't ever expect anything from me again. This is the last time I'll acknowledge you. She read it right away, no reply. And that was the end of the story. Months passed, and I never heard from them again. I wasn't relieved or sad, just empty. I realized the people I once called family were just using me. One night, I came home late and checked my phone. There was a number I didn't recognize. I hesitated but answered. Hello? It was Kelly again. She was crying. Your parents, they're falling apart. Martha's lost everything. Your mom's sick, and they're turning on each other. You're the only one who can help. I stared at the phone for a long time. Then I said, they made their choice. I didn't hear from them again. The end.